Hello guys. With me is Mr. Anshul Kumar. He has done his bachelor's in economic honors from Shriram College of Honors in Amity and master's in economics from Delhi School of Economics. Very good to have you here, bro.
Hi Akash, how are you? How are you doing?
I am doing very great. Anshul has been my childhood friend, and I have to say that he has like grown a lot. Like
Thanks.
I saw him after 10, 12 years, and so basically we are going to talk about that only, the change that you have gone through and how you have gone through that. So you mentioned during the lockdown that you did some activities that helped you grow. So first of all, I would like to ask you, what was the things that you do?
Okay, so during the lockdown, first of all, hi everyone, and I hope everyone's doing safe. And yeah, so during the lockdown, obviously we didn't have much to do, and everyone was stuck with something that was completely new. So at that time, I explored something called non-fiction books or self-help books, self-development books, and obviously the normal life was going on. Yes, you can't go out, but I was studying, the college was going on, the classes were virtual and everything was going on. But at that time, when you were sitting home idle, you had to do something different. So like you have to utilize the time. You had to pay. I feel at that time everyone had that pressure of utilizing that time and being something better when you come out of that lockdown, or when you
Right.
come out of that being a better self. Because if you're sitting at home doing nothing, and after the lockdown you're still the same version, you were just sitting at home and carrying forward with the normal life, then the lockdown was a waste, in my opinion.
Right.
No offense to anyone.
Obviously.
So I came across books, and I started with some of the books. My first book was The Game. It's a book on social dynamics. So it talks about well, the book starts with how you pick up girls, but the book completely changes at the end, and it turns into something very different and something very interesting, which everyone should have an idea about.
So can you tell a little
So
about what the core of the book was?
yeah, sure. So the book is by Neil Strauss, and I don't know how to pronounce his name. Neil Strauss is,
Fine.
so I don't know, but the book is by Neil Strauss, and the book mainly starts by focusing. He plans out a procedure on how we have to pick up girls. So I don't know the steps, because I was not interested in those steps, but there was a whole bunch of steps on how to approach girls, how to pick up girls. What there were some terms I don't remember, the push and pull technique, the peacock technique.
Rigging.
I don't
Yeah, peacock
know.
technique.
There were
Right.
a lot of terms. So
Yeah.
it starts with that, and at the end of the book, Neil Strauss mentioned himself that this thing of picking up girls and going to the club with your what do we call it? With your
Friend.
sidekick.
Right. Wingman.
Wingman, yeah,
Wingman.
with your wingman. Yeah, I forgot that term. Yeah, with the wingman going to the pub and picking a girl, that's completely a waste of time in long run, because that's not what holds true value in long run in real life. Because picking up girls and chasing that small dopamine rush, and
Mhm.
that's just picking up girls, going to the bar again and again, and picking up different girls one night stand. That's not what life is all about. We have to look at the bigger picture. So that book mainly talks about self-discovery and who you really are. So I feel that was the main gist of the book, that how you discover yourself, what you like. Am I
Yeah.
audible?
Yeah.
No, sorry. So that book mainly talks about that, how you discover yourself, how you work on your social skills, not just with girls, but if everybody else, be
Everyone.
it a
Yeah.
boy, a girl, be it a parents, be it a family member, with anybody, how you have to develop yourself, how you have to talk to anyone, how you have to randomly pick up topics and talk to, and how to be interesting, how to basically develop yourself in a nutshell. So that's the main gist of the book, which comes at the end of the book. So
Right.
if people have that expectation from the book that they're gonna learn how to pick up girls and the girls will be chasing them by the end of this book, when the book will be over, that's not gonna happen, because that book is not about that. That's a really completely different book. Although the cover page of the book is the art of picking up,
Right.
but that book, that's not true. The book is about something different else, and I feel that's a must read if you want to develop your social
Right.
skills and if you want to develop yourself as a whole, I feel the game is a really good book.
Can I share my experience as well? Like
Sure.
I read something
Sure.
similar, like about picking up women only, and at the end, the person says that in the end, it's not about picking up women every day, because there will be a hole in your stomach, there will be a void, there will be meaningless sex, there will be endless chase, and you will not be happy. So instead of that, educate yourself, gain some culture, gain some values, gain some core ideas, philosophies, and just stick with one, and you will be much happier. So
True.
I think even pickup artist knows what I mean. The people in our youth are lacking in that knowledge area,
True. True.
right?
So if you must have seen, I don't know if I've seen that show or not. You have you seen How I Met Your
How I
Mother?
Met Your Mother, Barney Stinson. Yeah,
Barney Stinson. That books remind me of Barney Stinson
yeah,
because for his whole life he was a pickup artist. He used to teach
right,
people, and
right.
his Ted. He used to teach Ted that how to pick up girls.
Yeah,
But at the end of the show, he realized when he holds his daughter and he says that you are the only thing in life that matters to
right,
me.
right, right.
Even he realizes that picking up girls and one night stand is not the meaning of life.
Yeah.
Life is much more. So yeah.
It's
And adding on
equivalent
to the
to,
point,
drugs and alcohol. It's just temporary
yeah,
pleasure and meaningless.
true. I mentioned that the small dopamine release that you
Yeah,
want, a
yeah, yeah.
small dopamine, you go out every day at a club. Even people like for me, I go to gym for working out, just for the
Right,
purpose of working out and just hit the weights. And I just want to feel good about myself. But I have seen people who come to the gym just for girls, and even they have left. Matlab, now it has come to the gym after pub clubs and all of that bars. Well, now it
right,
has come to the gym as well, which
right.
was a place of self development, but it is not anymore because there are boys out there who just want to hit on girls. Well, if a girl is doing set hair, they will come paddle to the girl and do the set hair. Well, that's where the society has come to. But okay, hopefully we'll change.
True self-development is being comfortable with yourself, not going after every girl, I think.
True, true, true.
Okay.
You have to be a high value man. If I feel the more you make yourself knowledgeable, the more interest you have. If a guy who holds a guitar is not interesting because he is playing a guitar, he has a passion for that guitar,
Right,
right? A guy who reads the book is not interesting because he's reading the book because he has a passion for something. A
exactly.
footballer is not interesting because he's a footballer and he's fit because he has a passion, he has a drive for that football.
Right,
That's what makes you and everybody else interested. That's what makes
right,
you interesting in front of the opposite gender and everybody else. So
exactly.
I feel to be a high value man, you have to have some passion, you have to have some interest, and just not chase girls and all of that. But apart from that, you have to work on yourself and grow yourself, and that's what really
Hmm.
be as in future.
सही बोलते थे मम्मी पापा, कुछ बन जाओ फिर लड़की अपने आप आती है.
Yeah, I have realized that.
Okay, so after reading your first non-fiction book, you developed the habit of reading simultaneous successive books, right? So how did you used to study or analyze the contents of the books? Can you share your techniques?
So at the beginning, I was a totally immature because I was starting with it. So after the game, I started reading Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck because everybody reads that book for when they when they're introduced to this culture of reading books. The first book is the Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck because it's so famous. But I started reading it with the book, and at that time, I that was a very on and off thing. So one day I'll read, I'll miss for 2 or 3 days. I'll read again. I'll forget on which page I was, just very cumbersome and hodgepodge. But after some time, when it struck me one night that अंशुल ऐसे नहीं होगा, ये ऐसे बात नहीं बनेगी. It's मतलब you are feeling inside that you are being productive, but you're not, because this is not how you are grasping knowledge. So at that day, I went to YouTube. I typed how to make a bookmark. So I made a bookmark by myself, and I from that day onwards I started reading books with utmost dedication every day, 30 minutes daily, and I feel those 30 minutes have taught me a lot. But your question was how I read the book. So first, firstly, I always keep a highlighter with me, any
Hmm.
highlighter, and whatever. I don't highlight the whole book because there's no point highlighting the
No
whole
point.
book.
Right.
Then you're defeating the
Exactly.
purpose. So I highlight with the motivation that if someday in future I come back again to this book, I just have to read the highlighted points, not the whole book, so that I grasp what was there. And with that, even some books I don't highlight, but I keep a notepad with me and I start writing whatever I feel is important in that book.
Hmm.
So I have that notepad with me. If you can see, I have write content. I don't know if it's visible or not, but I write
Yeah.
stuff in this whenever I read the book. So either I highlight or write stuff, and at the end of the book, that's a technique I learned from Tim Ferriss. So he loves reading a book, and he's a very famous podcaster.
Hmm.
So at the end of the book, or either at the starting of the book, when you are going through the book and you find something interesting, suppose at page number 45 you find something interesting about demand and supply,
Hmm.
so you feel कि आगे जाके बहुत काम आएगा. So you go at the starting of the page or at the end of the page and you write page number 45 and demand and supply and just leave it there. If you feel it's very important, then you put a star or a double star in front of it and you go back to the book again and you read again the book.
Right.
So if you feel again there's at page number 100, you feel something is important or some paragraph is important, you again back to the page and you note it down. So in
Right.
future, if you want to go back to the book, you
Hmm.
just you grab the book, you move to the last page, you open that page and you just read the page number that you mentioned. So it just gives you the whole gist of the book back to you. So I feel
Exactly.
that's the strategy. I am very comfortable. I don't know if it will work for anybody else, but I'm very comfortable with that and it has helped me. So that's what I've used.
That's a very good technique because most people forget 90% of what they read. Like at least if you make some important points, you'll get the gist and content of what you're reading. So that,
And I feel
yeah,
retaining the whole book is an impossible task. You can't retain
impossible
the
and
whole book.
useless. To be honest, I
It's useless
mean,
as well.
it's the same thing that is repeated over and over again.
If you realize, if you have read enough self-help books, they broadly cover the same thing, that you
Exactly.
have to work on yourself, you have to meditate, you have to play sports, you have to be fit. They broadly cover the same thing. It's just how the author approached that, and you have to capture that approach. So
Hmm.
I feel that approach that matters. And even if you grab something core from it, because if I can recall, I have grasped something very core from the book. I
Hmm.
don't retain the whole book, but there's something small, a very even 1%, 5% which stays with me from that book, and that's what 5% will stay with me for the entire life. So
And
that's
that's the
something. So yeah, that's what I feel.
okay. So, what do you think is the importance of personality growth in daily life? I
In daily
mean,
life,
this
especially.
self-help books must have helped you in your personality, right? So,
Okay, so
yeah.
Delhi is divided into four regions: north, south, east, like north, south, west, east. And South Delhi is the so-called the posh region of Delhi, because South Delhi has high class. That's the notion around that South Delhi is very high class, and that all of that. But being in South Delhi, I was a student at Amity in my 12th, and Amity had a very high end kids at Amity. Amity had very मतलब this kids just in Karan Johar's movie ना वैसे वैसे बच्चे थे Amity में. तो उसके मतलब उसके बाद कभी कभी तुम्हें खुद वैसे क्वेश्चन फील करता है, यार क्या है, मैं तो कुछ नहीं कर रहा, मेरे साथ तो
हाँ,
लड़कियां भी बात नहीं करती. मतलब उस टाइम होता है जब तुम छोटे हो ना, क्या लड़कियां मेरी दोस्त नहीं है, तुम पढ़ाई में भी कुछ नहीं. बट मैं पढ़ाई में डिसेंट था, बट तो लड़की वाले डिपार्टमेंट में थोड़ा पीछे था. तो अब मतलब उस टाइम पे थोड़ी बड़ी हिट होती थी, पर अब तो नहीं फर्क पड़ता. आई हैव अ स्टेबल रिलेशनशिप फ्रॉम 2 years नाउ, आई एम वेरी हैप्पी. बट उस
congratulations.
टाइम वो चीजें हिट. बट जब मैं कॉलेज में आया, आई स्टार्टेड वॉचिंग कॉलेज में some YouTube channels called there's a channel called Teaching Men's Fashion by Jose Zuniga. He's a American.
Yeah.
Teaching Men's Fashion, Alex Costa, Alpha M. There are many channels which talks about fashion, men's
Hmm.
development. And I got into that so much that every day when I used to have my dinner, my lunch, I used to open the channel and watch all the
Hmm.
videos. I was so passionate, and from that point onwards, I developed such a sense for fashion, for self-development, for going to gym, that from that day onwards, I've never looked back. At this point, if I don't wear my clothes properly, na, matlab, it's like I know मैं आज अच्छा नहीं दिख रहा हूँ क्योंकि मुझे पता है ये कॉम्बिनेशन ठीक नहीं बैठ रहा.
हाँ, अंदर से
मतलब
अजीब
मेरे अंदर वो सेंस अब बन चुका है कि
Right.
मुझे पता है अगर मेरे को अच्छा लग रहा तो बाहर वाले को अच्छा लगेगा, कि मुझे पता है मेरी फैशन सेंस अब इतनी ग्रो कर चुकी है.
Exactly.
मुझे पता है कि मतलब मैं इस चीज को लेके फैशन और क्लोथिंग को लेकर इतना पैशनेट हो गया हूँ कि समडे इन फ्यूचर आई वांट टू हैव अ फैशन ब्रांड ऑफ माय ओन. लेट्स सी इफ दैट हैपेंस और नॉट, बट आई वांट टू. And talking about how I grew my personality, the biggest reason I will dedicate first is books, but the second is gymming. I went to gym. I was a skinny dude, this thin arms, thin legs, and very. You must have seen me, right? I
Yeah,
was a very skinny dude. First, I was very fat. Then I got extremely skinny. But now I'm fit. I have a decent body.
yeah.
But gymming taught me discipline first of all.
Hmm.
From God's grace, I don't know how it happened, but people usually find to be very hard to be very consistent with gym. People find very hard. We see memes on internet every day. कि भाई मंडे से जाऊंगा, मंडे शुरू करूंगा, मतलब those memes. But for me it was never very hard. I feel that was something I was meant to do because मैं जिम पहली बार गया, सेकेंड डे गया थी, और वो ऐसा फ्लो बैठ गया कि मेरे को जिम कभी काम लगा ही नहीं. मुझे कभी ऐसा लगा ही नहीं कि आज जिम जाना है. मेरे को लगा यस जिम जाना है. जिम से मैंने इतना डिसिप्लिन सीखा है. मतलब जिम, there's something called progressive overload in gym,
Right.
if you know. You
Can
have
you
to do.
explain to the audience?
Okay, so progressive overload is if you are doing, suppose, bicep curls. There's an exercise in gym for biceps that's called bicep curls.
Right.
So if you pick, you have you do 3 to 4 sets of bicep curls. Sets is basically there's sets, and in sets there are reps. So
Right.
in you do 3 sets of 15 reps. Suppose,
Right.
take example. So you pick up a suitable weight according to that set.
Hmm.
So suppose for the first set you picked up 5 kgs and you repped out 15 reps. For the second set you thought, okay, take a 5 kg easy tha. Let's go to 7.5 kgs. So you pick up 7.5 and you rep out 14 reps. So you feel, acha 14 to aa gaya, let's go to 10. So you pick up 10 kgs and you rep out 12 reps. So now in 5, 7.5 and 10, you repped out 15, 14 and 10 reps. Now your aim should be the next time you do the bicep curl, you have to either increase the weight, either do 7.5, 7.5, 10, or if you are using the same weight, you have to increase one rep in any of the one of the sets. So if you're doing 5, 7.5, 10, you have to increase one rep, at least 1 or 2 rep in one of the sets. That's called progressive overload. You are basically overloading your body slowly, and these small overloads accumulate so much that you won't realize that after basically after 6 or 7 months, you will be curling 15 kgs or 10 to 15 kgs to 15 to 12 reps. And that's the power of progressively overload. So I feel that's progressive overload has taught me to progressively overload in real life as well. So even Virat Kohli once said, I remember now, कि अगर लाइफ में कुछ भी अच्छा ना जा रहा हो ना, बट इफ यू हैव योर रूटीन इन प्लेस, मतलब यू आर वेकिंग अप, मतलब दिन बड़ा खराब है, कुछ बैड न्यूज आया, बट इफ यू हैव योर रूटीन इन प्लेस एंड योर लाइफ इज गोइंग अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट रूटीन, you still have, at the end of the day you won't feel bad because you accomplish that routine. I wake up every day and make up my bed. That's the first task I accomplish. I drink coffee, I read my book, I do a little bit of stretching because stretching is really important. I feel flexibility. So I feel progressive overload is doing that thing again and again for every day, just a little better than previous day.
Exactly.
So even if you're growing at 1% every day, you're not growing at all because 1% doesn't count. But if you're growing at 1.1% every day, the power of compounding comes into picture, and you're at the end of 365 days, your growth is immense. So I feel even just that 0.1% matters a lot every day. So that's progressive overload in mind. That's how you keep growing, and do. I feel your aim should be to do a little better than your previous self. Your only contender is you, not anybody else. You have to compete with yourself. You have to be better than your previous self.
Even if it's 1.1%.
Yeah, that matters. That matters a lot.
But consistency is the most important thing.
I feel, so you mentioned before we started the podcast that आपके फर्स्ट पॉडकास्ट में पहले 1400-1500 व्यूज आए, और फिर यू आर होपिंग दैट समडे वो ब्रेक थ्रू होगा और अच्छी इनकम आ जाएगी, इससे एक अच्छा साइड इनकम सोच रहे हैं. तो आई फील इफ मतलब you also know that if you will be consistent, someday you're gonna break through that threshold, and I have learned that about YouTube. I am not a YouTuber, but I have learned that about YouTube by seeing other YouTubers. that you have to break that particular threshold. If you pass that threshold, there's just one video that जो वायरल होनी बाकी है. अगर एक वीडियो वायरल हो गई, एक पोस्ट वायरल हो गया, देन तुम हो गए, तुम्हारे स्पॉन्सरशिप जाएंगे, सब आएगा. तो वो चीज मैंने रियलाइज की है, अगर तुम डीमोरलाइज होके बैठ गए कि नहीं यार व्यूज नहीं आ रहे, कुछ नहीं आ रहे, तो नहीं होगा ना. तो मतलब मैंने कुछ नहीं किया, बट आई हैव हर्ड अदर यूट्यूबर्स सेइंग इट दैट एक थ्रेशोल्ड है, वो तोड़ दिया तो रिजल्ट्स आने शुरू हो जाएंगे. जिम में भी सेम होता है, नॉलेज में भी सेम होता है, हर जगह सेम होता है. जिम में तुम्हें स्टार्टिंग में न्यूबी गेंस दिखेंगे, पर फिर गेंस आने रुक जाएंगे. 6 महीने तुम्हारी इतने पतले हो, तुम्हें थोड़ा फील होगा कि अच्छा ठीक है स्ट्रॉन्ग हो गया, पर 6 महीने बाद वो चीज रुक जाएगी, तुम्हें लगेगा अब ग्रोथ नहीं हो रहा. बट उसी टाइम पे उसी पे लगे रहना, यू हैव टू बी एट इट. एंड आफ्टर 6 months again you will see again, you will see your biceps growing, you will see your shoulders getting broad, and that's how you progressively overload, and that's how you break that threshold. So after you break, I feel after you break that threshold, that activity becomes a habit. And that's what really matters. You have to make an activity in habit to be if it's not an habit, you won't be consistent. I love playing guitar, but I'm not consistent with it, so it's not my habit. I love going to the gym, I love playing football. It's an habit to me because I enjoy doing it and I do it. I don't feel it is a work to me. I am very consistent with it. So I feel you have to break that threshold to make it a habit.
So coming to that, I have been rejected like 300 times. Okay, 300 times. So, but now I'm engaged. So,
Oh,
yeah.
congratulations.
So, I feel that now I have reached that threshold of having a happy, stable life. So, if I
Yeah.
have put my foot down on the 209, 299, what is that?
So you
299
want that
rejection, then I would not have succeeded, right? So,
yeah,
it's
true.
all about persistence, even in the face of failure, and progressive overload, as you said, getting better and better. Like Albert Einstein said that if you did the same thing over and over again with the same result, expecting something different, you're either mad or foolish. So
True.
अगर gains नहीं हो रहे तो maybe you are doing something wrong. But अगर हो रहे हैं तो progressive overload is working. So that is what I think, that you should use the technique in the right direction, and if you believe in yourself and the threshold, after that you will achieve it, no matter what your goal is.
Basically the hardest part is to reach the threshold. उससे पहले people get frustrated and just give up.
बहुत ज्यादा
If you
बहुत
reach,
frustration
if
होती
you if you once reach that threshold, you're done. You're gonna grow
है.
from that point on.
That counts for being successful in the society, being a doctor, lawyer. इतने बड़े बड़े डॉक्टर्स हैं, मैं उनको देखता हूँ कि यार दे आर enjoying their life, like just working for 7 hours, 8 hours. But I don't count the fact that how many hours they have studied their ass off to reach that threshold. So that matters a lot. Okay, one more question that I'd like to ask, that how much have you learned from traditional education system, and how much have you learned from these books that you studied yourself, and
Okay.
what is the difference?
Okay. So as I mentioned, in school, I was decent in studies. And one thing I have learned from school, I don't remember the accountancy I read in school. I don't remember the business studies I read in school. Nothing
No,
at all. I remember the economics I studied in school because I'm doing masters and I have done bachelors in economics, and I had interest in economics, so I got. But I don't remember anything from what English chapter I read, and nothing at all. So what the main thing I learned from school, I feel, is how you make friends. Because in 10th, I didn't have many friends. But in 11th and 12th, I can call myself one of the more, I don't want to boast off, but I was pretty
popular,
famous in school
right?
in 11th, 12th, because
Right.
I gained a lot of friends. I was friends with juniors and seniors, like
Yeah.
that stuff. And I feel two things I learned from school. One is how you make friends, how you go out of your comfort zone and speak to people. Because when I moved to 11th, when you get divided by the streams, you don't have friends. You don't know which people are going to be in that stream. You don't know. So I was forced into a group which in that class I only had 1 to 2 friends, which one जो भी इतने कुछ अच्छे दोस्त नहीं थे. But at that time, I got out of my comfort zone. I talked to other people, and now I share a bond with them so special. that those friends are now my brothers. I can't imagine my life without them. So first thing I learned was how to network, how to make friends, and the second is I feel is the art of showing up. Because स्कूल में सुबह उठ के 7 बजे नहीं मन करता था जाने का बिल्कुल भी. 11th 12th में बहुत करता था. 11th 12th में I was very eager to go to school to meet my friends, मस्ती करने के लिए. और उससे नहीं मन करता था ठंड में. You have to get out of your quilt and go to the school, wear clothes. But I feel the art of showing up I learned from school, because in college you don't learn the art of showing up, because college you can miss classes.
Right.
That doesn't matter. But in school that but yeah, accepted reality. But in school, attendance matters. Your teacher will, if you hand your ass, they will complain to your parents that your child is not coming to school. So two things I learned from school, from the traditional system. I didn't learn anything related to education. I won't lie. I did not learn anything related to education. But two things are how to network, how to make friends, how to get out of your comfort zone. And second was the art of showing up daily, even if the task is very difficult. And I feel in life, to be successful, I won't call myself successful right now, but whatever I am right now, I feel you have to do one thing out of your comfort zone every week. Be it talk to a random girl, be it not, for a case of boy, it's a girl, for the girl, it's a boy. So talk to a random girl and
Speak in a
either
podcast.
speak in a podcast. Yeah, I don't think this is uncomfortable because I'm really enjoying it, to be very honest. But you have to do something
Right.
out of your comfort zone every week to really be successful and learn stuff in life. That's all I learned from traditional education and
But
school.
like if
Yeah,
you go to the gym every day, wake up in the morning, make your bed, that is also outside your comfort zone only.
well, we have maids at our doorstep, and when I do my bed, my mom comes to me and asks, "बहन देना कर लेगी वो चला जा." मैंने बोला नहीं मम्मी ये तो करने दो. तो ये चीज तो मैं हमेशा मैं ही करता हूँ सुबह उठ के, because I feel that's the first task that I accomplish and that makes me good. And उसके बाद I just set myself for the whole day. उसके
Exactly.
बाद the machine starts working and things flow में होती है. तो ये चीज अगर नहीं होगी ना, if I don't make my bed आफ्टर वेकिंग अप, बहुत ऐसा हो जाता है कि अंशुल कुछ मिस किया है आज आज अच्छा नहीं जाएगा. तो वो
और कुछ
पहली
करने का मन
चीज
नहीं करता.
एक फिर बहुत ऐसा हो जाता है, मतलब अगर
ये
बेड
एक चीज
किसी
मिस
ने
कर दी. हाँ.
तो वो फ्लो ब्रेक हो जाता है ना.
ब्रेक
तो
हो
फिर
जाता है.
ऐसा सेम गोज फॉर जिम, सेम गोज फॉर फुटबॉल.
Right.
अगर मैं एक दिन जिम नहीं किसी भी रीजन की वजह से,
हम्म.
तो पहली बात तो वर्कआउट मिस हो गया.
हम्म.
दूसरी बात फिर अंदर से अच्छा लगता है कि यार आज मिस हो गया, नहीं आज अच्छा नहीं लग रहा क्योंकि जिम. चलो वैसे कमिंग बैक टू योर पॉइंट, you asked me, I told you the traditional system. Now I'll come to the self-help books.
Right.
So the game taught me, I feel the things game taught me, the book the game taught
Right.
me, I already learned from YouTube. Those channels I mentioned, the Teaching Men's Fashion, those are really amazing channels. I feel every boy out there should watch those channels. Teaching Men's Fashion, that's a channel I recommend to everyone. So the game didn't teach me that much, but then I came on to the Shuttle Out of Not Giving a Fuck. That book is really amazing. It's not about money. It's not about anything else. It's not even about personality. I feel that book's not about personality. It's about the bigger picture. I feel that book teaches you something like you are not special. Okay, सबके साथ बुरा होता है. You have to accept that. You have to wake up next day and उस चीज को फेस करना पड़ेगा. अगर तुम्हारे साथ बुरा हो रहा है, यू आर नॉट स्पेशल, और लोगों के साथ भी बुरा हो रहा है. इस टाइम पे रशिया यूक्रेन में सी द कंडीशंस इन रशिया यूक्रेन, वी कांट कंपेयर आवर लाइफ टू देम ना. सो यू आर नॉट स्पेशल. तो तुम्हारे साथ यू हैव टू फकिंग एक्सेप्ट दैट कि बुरा होता है. यू हैव टू फकिंग फाइंड अ सॉल्यूशन एंड यू हैव टू, बिकॉज लाइफ इज व्हाट लाइफ. you have अगर तुम्हारे पास अभी प्रॉब्लम है, you solve that problem and you will move to a bigger problem. The problem won't stop. You have to learn how to solve the problem. If you need a Ferrari right now, once you will get the Ferrari, you will want something else.
Of course.
The need won't stop, the problem won't stop. So that's what I learned from Settle Out Not Being a Fuck. And after that, I read Rich Dad and Poor Dad. And at that point, I started hating my account teacher because why in the fuck tell me this stuff? Because Rich Dad Poor Dad has so much in it. So I recommend that book to everybody out there who is listening to this podcast, because Rich Dad Poor Dad is a, what do we call it, bundle of
Bible of
knowledge.
economics.
Yeah, it's everything, a Bible of finance, or whatever you want to call it. But Rich Dad Poor Dad has so much knowledge in it. I can't. It's it was a witness a book, but it has so much knowledge in it. So Rich Dad Poor Dad has taught me a lot about finance, how you break out of the society, how you create wealth, how you. And I hope one day I will be able to follow these things that Rich Dad Poor Dad has given me, and I will be able to achieve what I want. So in a nutshell, I feel school life, college life, what you want to take away from them is how to, network yourself, how to make friends. Because in future, if you ever start a business, if you ever need someone, those friends will be standing behind you and helping. You won't find those economics accounts ka balance sheet helpful in future, because you will find that friend who you made in 12th and 11th helpful when you go for 10 years from now, when you will need someone. So I feel the importance of bonds, the importance of network. You have to create networks in college, in school, and that's what school and colleges. I don't have anything against schools and colleges, because yes, the education system doesn't, no one likes the education system that much. Few people do, but mostly on the majority, no one likes the education system that much. But one thing that schools and colleges teach, which no one can else teach, is networking. Because when you will go, when you will do a job, when you will do business, you will realize that how much your network is a net worth. That's a very famous quote. The network is a net worth. So then you will realize then that how much importance network holds in your life. So I feel schools and colleges really helps you in building a network, and that's what schools and colleges have given me. And for the education and knowledge stuff, I feel everyone should start reading book. There are thousands, and not, there are millions of books out there which want to teach you so much, that even if you do not have a graduation degree, if you even haven't been to school, you want to learn so much from these books. There are books on stock market, there are books on working out, there are books on music, so much that you're going to be a master in that field, and you're going to break everything. So I feel for the education part, the books can do it for you, and for the networking part, the schools and colleges are the main thing.
And you owe it to yourself to get educated. It's not just that you get a degree in college or you have passed out from school that now you are educated. You are not educated, you are trained. But
You're
if
trained,
you,
yeah.
yeah, if you really want to educate yourself on subjects that you actually give a shit about, then you have to pick a book about that genre.
Yeah, true.
So,
They're basically
yeah.
they're
Right.
basically making robots. Okay, the robots, they're making robots जो company में छोड़ दिया जाएंगे और company को ऊपर. Basically, if you're working for a company, you're working for someone else's dream, not your dream.
Exactly.
And that's what hit that. So yeah.
Nobody dreams of one day I will work under my boss and I will make him happy.
True.
Right. So,
True.
but everyone does the same thing to accomplish that dream only.
I hope
So
that
that
changes.
that comes back to the comfort zone part, being your own boss.
Yes. That's
Okay.
what.
Coming to the rich dad poor dad, can you give some insights about it?
Okay, so Rich Dad Poor Dad, as I mentioned, is the Bible of finance. But apart from that, it not only teaches about money and stuff, but it also teaches about how you break out from the society. So basically, Rich Dad Poor Dad has two dads, as it goes from the name, Rich Dad and Poor Dad. So the rich dad is the one who is not following the norms of the society. He's not the one who has graduated from a very good college, got a very
He
safe
never
job,
even
and
graduated.
I don't remember.
Yeah, he didn't graduate.
So the rich dad is the one who didn't follow the norms of the society, and the poor dad is the one who did follow the norms of society, who went for a secure and stable job. And in that book, we are told that to be successful, to be really successful and really wealthy in life, you have to break out from the norms of the society. The society have created for you. You are not meant to be married by 30. You are not meant to be. You are not meant to be working for a company. You are not meant to be graduated. You do that by your choice. But if you break out from those norms and you really follow your passion, if you have a passion for guitar, if you have passion for anything, if you have passion for football, in India football doesn't have that much scope, to be very honest. India में football का इतना नहीं है, we are not Europe. But in India, you can create your own football academy. You can start a YouTube channel for football. We don't have much footballers from India YouTube on teaching on YouTube. So I feel if you follow your passion, you break out from the society will try to curb you down and put you down by बेटा क्या कर रहे हो ये इससे कुछ नहीं होता. But I feel at that point when you just इस कान से सुनना है and you इस कान से निकाल देना, that was really matters, because if you break out of these norms and you do what really matters to you, what makes really you happy, I feel that, because then the work doesn't feel like work. It feels you're doing something. How do I explain it? Work doesn't feel like work. It feels like, I don't have words to describe this. What do I say? It
Something
doesn't feel
like,
like, in a nutshell, it doesn't feel like work,
yeah,
because you are doing something you love, so it doesn't feel like work, and the money is just a byproduct of that, because you are putting 8 to 10 hours, just you're enjoying those 8 to 10 hours. You're not working for somebody else, you're enjoying those 8 to 10
you're
hours
getting money to
because
enjoy.
yeah, you're getting money to enjoy. That's right, Chris. So if someone asks me right now to go work in a shop where go work in a fashion company or design clothes, मेरे को बहुत मजा आएगा. मेरे को मतलब मेरे पास कोई फैशन डिजाइनिंग की डिग्री या कुछ नहीं है, बट मुझे मेंस फैशन में बहुत ज्यादा अच्छा लगता है. तो दैट विल नॉट बी वर्क फॉर मी. आप मुझे पैसे दो मत दो, मुझे फर्क नहीं पड़ता, बट आई रियली एंजॉय इट. तो आई फील नॉर्म से बाहर निकलना जो पुअर डैड ने फॉलो किया था और रिच डैड ने जो बोला था कि यू हैव टू break out of the society and do what you really love, that's what matters in long run. And to create wealth, you have to increase your assets and decrease your liabilities. So if here anyone doesn't know about asset and liabilities, assets is something that gives you money and liabilities is something that takes money away from you.
Like
So
children.
to be wealthy, of course you can do the maths. If the money keeps coming and the less of the money keeps going out, that is, assets keep increasing and the liabilities keep going down, you will be wealthy someday. So that's what Rich Dad Poor Dad is in a nutshell, that you have to break out of the society. Don't go after a secure job. Don't go after the college degree. Don't run after that, all of that. You have to do something different. To be rich, you have to cater to your passion. Either you cater to a passion or either you cater to a need. They're those things. Either there's something lagging in the society or there's something that you love. If you are behind one of them, then you're gonna earn money, because there are people, if you're truly passionate about it, the product will be really good. If you're catering to a need, then also the product will be really good. The society needs it. So I feel these two things will make money.
You gave a really beautiful metaphor about weeds growing together and one rising. What was that?
So I heard this in a YouTube IGTV video. So in Australia or England, I don't know which place, you see these grasses growing out. The grass, like, agar tum dur se dekho, there are very beautiful farms and the grasses are growing out. And if the grasses are growing out to this level, suppose this is the level and all the grasses are till here.
Right.
If one or two grasses start growing above this level, the farmer will come and cut these grasses, and he will make it to this level only.
Right.
That's what I learned from that video, and that's what the guy was trying to convey, that if you ever try to do something different from the society, the level is the society and you're growing out is the difference. So if you ever try to do something different from the society will come and try to cut you down to just be with the level of the society. So that's the mentality that we have, and that's the mentality that poor dad had. But when you start growing out, if the farmer lets you grow after you cross that level, that's what rich dad wanted. That's what the book was all about.
It's not just the farmer, it's also your ability to resist getting cut, right? Because
True.
everyone can tell you not to do it, but it's up to you. वही जो आपकी बात है, एक कान से सुनो एक कान से निकालो. And he also said, like, diversify your incomes, right? Because we saw during the COVID time, many people lost their shit because they had only one job.
I feel इस time पे, if you just have one job, you can't be rich, because renting out your time won't make you rich. You have to
Can
have
you
a side
explain
income.
what renting out your time means?
Okay, so I again read this in a book. I don't know why everything I've read in a book, but I again read this in a book.
That's why you are
So
very
this,
knowledgeable.
so this is there is a book called The Almanac of Naval Ravikant. Some people must be knowing him. He's a very famous investor. He's from India only, but now he's an US citizen and he's doing wonders. So renting all the time. There's a Twitter thread by him, but it is a very famous Twitter thread. If you could go on Twitter and search how to make money, how to get rich by not getting lucky. How to get rich by not getting lucky. It is a very famous Twitter thread by Naval Ravikant. So in one of those threads, it is mentioned you will never get rich by renting out your time. So basically, renting out your time is basically you're working for a company and you're giving your time, and the company is giving you rent, which is your salary in return of it. So basically, you're working for someone else's dream, because that boss or that someone is sitting there, he wants to make a big change in the world, and you are just an agent helping him reach his dream and sacrificing your own dream, and you will never get rich from there. Even if you want to do a job, I have nothing against people who want to do a job. There are my dad himself is doing a job. I have nothing against them. That's not what suits me. But people, I have utmost respect for people who do job, who want to stay stable for the rest of their life and not take any risk. I have utmost respect for them. But if you want to really get rich, and you have to have passive incomes. And by passive incomes, your salary is your active income. If the listeners don't know, your salary is your active income, and your passive income is something that you are getting without contributing too much to it. Even if you're sleeping, you are getting the money. That's your passive income. When you are sleeping, you're not earning. When you're sleeping, you're not getting the active income because you're not working. But when you're sleeping, you are, maybe you are getting rent from a house which you have rented out. Maybe you are getting returns from a stock you have invested in. Maybe you are getting returns from a company you've invested in. So that's passive income. So basically, that's also, yeah, I'm glad you mentioned this point, that of passive income, because I feel that book really meant focused on passive income. So I feel you have to have some source of passive income in future to, you know, be really rich and be really wealthy. Just not, फिर तो you will be poor for the rest of your life, because if you don't have passive income source, you will only make money while you are asleep, while you are awake. You will not make money and the real trick to be rich is making money while you're asleep.
And as you said that you are working as someone's agent, so that boss will not pay you for what you are worth. They will pay you for what their profit margin is. That will be way less than how much your
Yeah.
time you dedicate. So being your own boss means making the money you want.
Yeah. And while doing the job, I won't recommend, because even in future also, I am personally telling, even if I'm saying much about job, I will take a job in future, but by side I want to work on my passion, and I want to work on my passion till the time my salary from my job and the money I'm earning from my passion are equal, or at least my salary is somewhat below my income from my passion. So even if someone is there out listening, I have heard people saying it, that don't leave your job for following your passion. Be in your job, do your job, but side by side on hustle on your weekends. And everyone is going out to party on Saturday nights. You have to be there, follow your passion, work on your passion, and build something out of it, and then you can leave your job and move out there. Because that's not rational, I feel. You just leave your job and you work on something else. You don't have any income. Here we are talking about passive income, and you are even leaving your active income. That's not how it works. So I feel you have to stay in your job, and side by side you have to work for the things you want to achieve in life. And then once you are fully satisfied with that side income, you can leave your active job.
So that's what they talk in Subtle Art of Not Giving the Fuck, that you have to sacrifice. You have to
So you
sacrifice
have
your weekends, sacrifice drinking, sacrifice going out. I mean, if you want to
sac-
be rich, like if you want to have friends and if you want to party, then it's fine. Then you have to sacrifice money. But
not even
one,
rich. I feel
yeah,
sacrifice. You have to sacrifice to get anything
exactly.
big you want. Even if you want a good body, even if you want to be fit, even if you want to learn how to sing, you have to sacrifice something or the other. Not just to be rich, but to get anything in life, be it a girl, be it a stable partner you need in life, anything, you have to sacrifice something.
In
So
a
sacrifice.
relationship, you have to sacrifice being vulnerable, open to
True.
rejection, open to pain.
True.
In gym, you have to sacrifice that muscle tension, dieting. You have to sacrifice
Sacrifice.
your family time to be successful.
True. Sacrifice is very important. I think.
And that comes from discipline, right?
Discipline and consistency. If you are afraid of sacrificing your going out of your comfort zone and sacrificing it, then I am very paranoid that you will get what you want. So you will have to sacrifice.
One thing you talked about: happiness, health, money.
Yeah. So I read this.
You read it again.
In Almanac, because that's the book I'm reading right now, the Almanac
Yeah.
of Naval Ravikant. Just 1 second. So I read in the book the Almanac of Naval Ravikant itself. So the three bigs in life: happiness, health, and money. These are three bigs in life. Everybody wants that: happiness, health, and money. So the order we chase them is money first, then we chase health, at last we chase happiness. But in actual, the order should be reversed. First we should chase happiness, then health, and then money. Because what's the money, even if at the age of 14, 50, you can't walk, you can't climb the stairs, you can't go to trekking, you can't run. What's the money was all worth? It was worth nothing if you can't. If you even earn 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 100 million, and you can't run, you're just sitting in the bed alone with no family and not happy at all. What was the money? What? It was nothing, because you're gonna die someday and you didn't enjoy your life. So I feel that's what I learned from the book, that the order should be reversed. You should first choose happiness, then health, and at last money.
Beautiful. Dalai Lama said that at first we sacrifice our health to chase money, then we sacrifice our money to chase health.
Mm,
Okay.
true. And one thing I get from this is, I'm doing masters right now, and there are companies coming to my college for internships, and they select a few students out of the college and they get internships. So sometimes, obviously, as a human tendency, you will get disappointed, you will get sad that मेरे में ऐसा क्या था कि कंपनी ने मुझे नहीं दिया और इसको ले लिया. तो I applied to few of those companies and मेरे को भी किसी में internship नहीं मिला है, because they demand a lot. There are students, I feel these students who get internships have been hustling throughout their life. I feel I am in my own race. Okay, मैंने ये process of self development, this process of being really good at it, being really loving myself, ये सब मैंने बहुत स्टार्ट किया. ये जो बच्चे थे, ये पढ़ाई में बहुत स्टार्टिंग से बचपन से इनके मम्मी पापा ने ट्रेन कर रखा था that you have to be very good at it. That's why their CV is very good at number. They have a good percentage, they have a good all of that. Even I have a good percentage and I have a few internships under my back, and my CV is decent, but they even have a better CV than me because they were at it from a very long age, very long time, and I am in this race now. So if I start comparing myself with them,
Exactly.
then it's not gonna work, because I have to be better than myself, and it's my own race. Everybody is running the race at their own speed. Okay,
Right.
someone's gonna go really fast, someone's gonna go really slow, because that's something I have even felt in my classes only, because when the teachers teach you something, they just rush to the topic sometimes. But when you watch the recordings, you understand it better, because you pause the video, you understand the concept, and then you move forward. That there I'm going with my own pace, but the teacher just rushes to, you can't pause the video, you can't ask the teacher to stop, let you recall, and then because you can't do that.
Right.
But when I watch the recording, I learn everything. So the three bigs I told you, the happiness, health, and money, these internships offer a great money. Okay, they are very good internships, very impressive money. But the day, I don't feel sad when I don't get these internships, because when I go to the gym, I work on my health, I feel very happy with that. I have a good health, I am very happy in my life. मैं सुबह उठता हूँ, I'm very happy. That those things don't bother me that much now. Earlier they used to, in college they used to, but now I'm at a point in my life where when I'm not getting an internship, I haven't applied too much, because they're very big companies, and they just need 2 or 3 children out of the whole lot. But it doesn't affect me that much right now because I'm very content with the things I have right now, and I know I'm working at my own pace and my own speed, and someday they're gonna reap off, and I'm gonna get what I want. So that's what keeps me going.
So people who were in my competition, like in ninth, 10th, who were really well educated and studied a lot, and then I went off to do drugs. Now I'm clean, but I can think that I was a drug addict. Now no one will hire me. I cannot do anything. So I can think like that, or I can think that at least now I have improved from my past self, and it's a race against my own self. So I'm getting better than before. So I'll do something that is meant for me. UPSC is not meant for me.
True.
Judiciary is not meant for me. So I won't do those things.
I feel that's what really important. You have mentioned that you have to, recognize what's not meant for you
Right.
and stop chasing
Right.
that.
Exactly. Your
People
passion.
don't realize that.
Right.
Like, you love doing podcast, and I know you must be enjoying it right now. I can't see
I
from where
am.
you are.
I'm on time of my life.
You you obviously enjoying doing podcast. You don't feel it as a work, but if you ask someone from UPSC to do this podcast,
Yeah.
he won't enjoy it because
Yeah.
uske liye UPSC. And I have respect for that guy also.
Yeah. Yeah.
UPSC
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
तो वही है.
I get your point. It's fine. Everyone has their own destiny. Okay, so before we end this, tell us more about yourself यार. 10 साल तक इतना ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन हुआ है.
So I'm doing good in my life. I feel very happy at my life at right now. I have a happy family. From God's grace, I have a touch wood. I have a happy family. Everything's going great. I have a very good girlfriend. We talk every time, and we go on dates, and things are very good at right now. I'm doing good in studies, and apart from that extracurricular, I love playing football, so I play football. That keeps me mentally sane, very mentally sane. I love going to the gym. That keeps me sane. So I feel at this point of over this from the gym at 10th, during when I was in 10th, I was
Yeah.
not this. I was very different.
Yeah.
Not taking care much of myself. But at this point, it was a process that I went into, and I kept learning, and now I have a routine that I follow, and that routine is reaping benefits now. I feel good about myself. People compliment me. You know, I from the my day starts with making my bed, and it ends with I go into my washroom, I brush my teeth, and I have a skincare routine where I put face wash and everything that,
Right.
and then
Right.
my day ends there. So I have this routine which is reaping benefits for me, and I feel it's really working, and I it will stay with me for the rest of my life, and I'm really enjoying the process, and I feel someday after 10 to 15 years, I'm going to be where I want to be in life, hopefully.
That's good, man. That's good. So you also mentioned about your scope of doing vlogging in the future, right?
Yeah, so I watched a YouTuber called How to Beast.
Right.
I watch him. He's a YouTuber in Los Angeles,
Yeah.
and he takes this really amazing shots, drone shots, building के ऊपर से drone shots लिए workout कर रहा है ऐसे गाने वाने insane edits.
Right.
So from those edits, from seeing his video he uploads video every Monday and Thursday, and I see all his videos.
Yeah.
Those insane edits, those it gives me a thrill. Okay, कि वाह
Right.
यार ये तो करना है. So someday in future, I even have some vlog shot in my phone. When I'm doing the podcast, but I never had the guts to upload those vlogs because I don't know whether obviously the people will judge me of what चीज रहता है दिमाग में.
Let them. Yeah.
I have a full vlog. I feel one day when after I'm settled, I will buy a good camera and I'll also start vlogging someday because I want to do it. That's mine. And I, I won't call it my passion because that's not my passion, but I want to do it because I feel it will make me really happy because when I see how to uski videos, it makes me really happy that what are those edits. I want to do those edits. I want to film myself doing those workouts, the bench
Yeah.
press, and those drone shots. I feel and someday maybe I'll be able to do it. But right now, I'm being very honest, I don't have the guts to upload the vlog that I have in my phone.
Crazy, and you will do it, man, definitely.
Thanks.
So it was really nice talking to you, and we will talk again. We will do this
Sure,
again.
sure. Same here, man. Cheers.
Take care.
Okay, bye.